Facebook because those are instant and don't require any extra work.
We're just going to get your...
You go down to Instagram, you'll hit that final button on Instagram to go live, and then on Uscreen, you'll toggle it on, and then you're actually going to have to go into Uscreen on the right-hand side of that live stream area that you're already editing. You'll click the Start Live Stream button.
Hey, Philip, can you... I'm trying to find the questions. Can you forward those over to us really quick?
Yep.
We are live?
Just on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so we are live on the tube.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're getting everybody in, getting the tube up, getting X Factor going. We are rocking and rolling. We are just pulling up some questions here, guys, so welcome in as you come on in. Ready for a good day of Q&A, Jackson?
Yes, sir.
You ready or what?
I'm ready, ready, ready.
By the way, I tell you what, like, just to inform everybody, I'm stealing your driver. So I'm not like a meat guy. Like, I don't freaking like rip it like Jay does. Like Jackson's. What's your high ball speed?
190.
190?
190.
You're a 190 clubber?
One time I hit it.
Good grief, my high ever is 181. So I'm not like a friggin', I'm not smash mode. But I'll go like high 160s. If I really get one, I can get at 170s. That's kind of cool. All right, here we go. Logged in.
I got questions, Philip. Yep.
You got the questions
everything
from
cooking.
X Factor ready.
Boom, boom. Save. For Insta.
You get to watch two golf pros just struggle with technology.
Screen and website.
But yeah, this thing is friggin' filthy. I was hitting it yesterday and it was like unbelievable. This new, what is this thing? Titleist GT3?
GT3, baby.
Oh gosh. Yep, that 100% thieving. 100% thieving. You'll find mine in your bag one day.
Sweet, looks like, so the,
Gosh, it's just so good.
Everything's toggled on there, Philip. Good to go.
Okay, and we got questions ready there, Jay?
Did you click Start Live Stream over on Uscreen? That's the last piece, I think. You see the button there?
Yeah, and go live. Yes, go live.
Boom shakalaka.
Says microphone required.
That's okay. Got all that.
I think I got it.
Not. You see so when you're editing in Uscreen, when you pull up the live event for today,
Mm-hmm.
on the right hand.
Sorry, folks, we're working through it.
Just below that stream key that you copied, it should have there's a gray button there that says Start Live
Ah,
Stream.
I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I hit Enter Live Studio instead. Yeah, there we go. It's loading.
Okay. There we go.
There we are.
Perfect.
That's it. Sweet.
Boom, boom,
Good
boom,
to
boom.
go.
I think we are good. Got the
There.
live on everything.
There.
Sweet.
We hot, Jay, or what?
I think we're hot. We're good to go, Philip. You everything looks good to you.
That was good right there.
Well, we're live, so
Sweet.
AOA 7 down.
Appreciate it.
be around.
Smash factor 132, carry 178. Ooh, spin axis 1 degree right. Ooh. Oh, these are all lovely numbers.
Beautiful.
It's nice to hit lovely numbers. All right, so we're good, yeah?
We're good to go. Sorry about that,
That's
guys.
fine.
I'm learning.
This is day in the life of a golf pro, man.
Yes.
You got them different hats on the head, you know?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. All right, so guys, welcome in. Jackson, as I'm saying hey to everybody, let's grab your first 2 or 3 questions in there that look really good to you. But welcome in, guys. We're trying to upgrade here too. We threw in some new lights, so hopefully you can see things a little bit better as well. That's kind of cool. Always trying to upgrade, make things better, blah, blah, blah. So, guys, hopefully you had a wonderful week of practice. And those of you that really nerd out on these and watch them all the way through, that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, like, in all seriousness, the reason that we're doing this is so that you take some information, understand the golf swing better, but you go out and you perform better. So if I ever say anything that's like, dude, that doesn't make sense, I don't understand it, or that goes against like, you know, something else that you said in a YouTube video, or, you know, some silly Instagram that I posted, like, last thing that we want to do is confuse you, right? So we do coach under like one general umbrella and are explaining concepts and matchups and the whole bit through our system that we believe in. So if that does happen, that's the purpose of these. Ask the question. 100% ask the question. I would love nothing more than to go over it and explain concepts and matchups so that you go out and you have a great time hitting great shots and hit us some mother flipping thumpers. That's what we're all about. So with that being said, Jay, what do we got for question 1 here, homie G?
All right, this is a cool one. This
Okay.
is from Tom Thorpe, X Factor.
Love it. What's up, T? Great golf swing, by the way. Looks like friggin' Hovland.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's what his question is. It's about Hovland.
Friggin' Tom Thorpe. He's a frickin' G. It's awesome.
So Tom's asking, how is Hovland creating stretch in the arms and power while his lead arm is abducting and doesn't look like it stretches against his chest?
Okay, so first off, I think there's, I believe what you're saying, Tom, is more adduct instead of AB. So AB is away from midline, adduct is across midline. And at the end of the day, every single high-level player is going to load the arm lines really well. Now, some of them, you can really tell that they totally look loaded. Other ones don't look as loaded. And the reason for that, typically, for good players, is because everybody's stretch shortened cycle or their ability to stretch is different. Like you've got certain guys, like Jackson's one of these homies, like he's hyper mobile, and in ways it sounds good. Like everybody's like, oh, you want to be flexible when you're a golfer, right? Jackson's like, man, I wish I had more like rigidity, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
like,
hurts me more than it helps me.
it's like that's like how far you can like just motor is different. We'll call it that way than me.
Yep.
I'm not hyper mobile, homie. So, like when you see this, like you'll see this out of guys that are maybe a little bit stockier kinds of builds, like thicker upstairs. Hovland definitely has some of that. Koepka definitely has a lot of that compared to other guys like Will Zalatoris or Justin Thomas. A lot of these guys that are like super long, like you can see this elasticity like happen. A heck of a lot easier with that type of an athlete. Like it's just more apparent, but it's not, we're not saying that it doesn't happen with guys that elasticity isn't as like great. Okay. So looking at Hov, like what he does in transition, you'll always see this. Like, I mean, honestly, if anybody finds somebody that doesn't do this on tour, I'd love to see it. But as the arms and the club are finishing in the away swing, so from like 3.5 to 4, what you'll always see is either some amount of drop, rotation, lateral movement away from where the handle is moving. So I have the handle working up and away here, especially with irons. Like typically we don't see the golf club up in here with many players. I mean, Jake Knapp a little bit, but most guys are kind of in here with an iron. So as the energy in the grip is working away and up, I'm going to be working in general in opposition. So as I do this, as I'm going here, number one, that is some amount of adduction across my chest, some amount of shoulder flexion across my chest. As I'm dropping and start to turn the other way, boom, posterior, lead arm line load. The reason that's important is now I get to go ahead and fire that arm off. So if I load this, now I get to fire it. See this load? Here's the load, here's the fire. Okay, and one big thing is actually kind of a commonality lately with some of my sessions that I'm coaching is a lot of players, they see our stuff. One of our biggest components to controlling the face is talking about like, look, the club head stays over here on the trail side and we turn through it right in here. right? So like as I'm rotating, look, I've got all this like club face stability. Now here's the important thing. I am not saying that you pin this arm across your chest and now the handle in my hand is over on my right side, which does happen during the load, but we're not pinning this here and then dragging on it and turning forever because it's gonna cause all kinds of issues. Plus, it always feels good, right? To like hit with your arms, hands, and club, like this feels good. There's a dexterity to that. And most of the time, like if you have some tool in your hands that's a hitting tool, sledgehammer, axe, baseball bat, golf club, like we want to take it and actively hit with the arms. That's the reason that we're loading the arms. So hopefully, Tom, in a way that answers your question, because he is definitely across here, but then what you see out of like a Hovland or a Minwoo Lee is as they're pivoting here in the pelvis, this lead arm stays internal, and as I keep turning the chest, this lead arm will abduct, and so now we see this space in here between the lead humerus and the rib cage, where we don't see that with players who extend, move the pelvis forward, and then they have to lower the arm down the rib cage and roll it out of here. See how now all of a sudden I don't have any of that space, I'm glued here? Totally different look through the hip than somebody in here. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing, but once we're kind of in 4, 4.5, or 5, this is the fully loaded phase, or space. And now from here, I need to start unloading, which means that I'm gonna take this arm line that's loaded and unload it through abduction. We have all this space. I think that's what you're getting at. I think there's maybe a typo in that, just that, you know, it's adduction that you're speaking to rather than abduction is my best guess right there. So hopefully that answers the question.
Dope.
Next.
Dope. All right. You're loving driver right now, so we'll hop into driver.
Give me that Titleist, man. GT3.
This is from Michael Malik.
What's up, Mike?
Please explain hands moving during driver swing from P4 to P8.
Jeez, that's like a short question. That's a deep question.
Short and deep.
Short and deep. Let's see. So from P4 to P8 and what the hands are doing. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, man, can you state the whole thing again? I'm wondering if it's where in space or how they're actually like moving. Like,
please explain hands move during driver swing from P4 to P8.
Okay.
I think this
I'll answer this in 2 questions because I think there's 2 different ways of going about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to clarify again, like P system. So P system address is P1. The very end of the away swing and where the club would start to like transition to going back forward, this is P4. Everything else is just levels to the ground. So if I go back here, shaft level to the ground, P2, lead arm level to the ground, P3, 4, 5, lead arm back level to the ground, 6, shaft level to the ground, 7, impact, shaft level to the ground over here, P8. And then who gives a crud? The ball's gone.
Go.
So where the hands move. Don't worry, I'm not running away from the question. I just need a different little tool here. How about this guy? All right. So we'll first go about this from the standpoint of like from down the line where the handle is moving, just in space. Not how I'm affecting it, but just where this would move. Like if I were holding onto a basketball right here, just in space, where would this go? So most, not all, most of the time, the preference that we have is this in here would be underneath the handle in transition. Now the reason that we say this is the golf swing is a proximal to distal act with our favorite movers, meaning that I'm going to turn in my chest first. My arms are just kind of along for the ride, so you'll see immediately how the golf club kind of arcs in here. And then to get the golf club to the top, I'm going to adduct the lead arm as well as throwing some shoulder flexion. Shoulder flexion is just arm lift this way. Okay, so you'll see how if I don't have any adduction, this is well over the plane. So adduction gets it slotted and kind of over here on this like right side. So I've got adduction and shoulder flexion to get it up here. Okay, so I go turn, 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 adduction, shoulder flexion, boom, I'm up to the top. Now, we just talked, as this is finishing here, the forward swing is also a proximal to distal act. So I'm going to start to drop and turn the chest, And you'll notice what that does to the handle, how it throws it a little bit over that, that backswing or away swing plane. So we'll see the golf club go in here, up, drop, turn, goes over. And so the club's right in this space. And now from P4, see it go out just a bit. But now as I continue to turn, we'll see the handle actually arc fairly severely through the hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so in essence, like if you're looking down on me and look at where the handle is, kind of at this delivery position at kind of P5 right in here, then what we'll see is the handle start to curve, 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 curve all the way through here into the finish. Okay, so that's our preference. Do you see every single athlete do that? Absolutely not. And if you want to go more into this, and take a look at a recent YouTube video that we did. It's called The Perfect Release. And through Elite Golf School's terms, we deem Victor as a hitter and Rose as a swinger. Now, swingers, what they will do from here is the arm, the lead arm, will stay adducted and lower down the chest. So this is shoulder extension to lower this down. Okay, but now from here, as I turn through, what will inevitably happen, because the arms are kind of trapped back behind, is the handle is on this more gradual curve through and around. So we'll see the handle out here at P8 compared to with Hovland. As he turns now, we'll see the handle disappear behind him. So there's a more radical curve in that kind of perspective. Now, kind of to quickly go through, another way to interpret this is just what the hands are doing to the handle to affect face, to affect where the center of mass of the golf club moves, blah, blah, blah. So let's go Rose first. If I swing it up here to 4 and I lower, see where the handle's going, okay? And I'm not doing anything other than just like letting the handle work down. And I'm not really affecting like the center of mass compared to the handle. I'm not moving it like anywhere here relative to the shape of the lead arm, hand, and club's shape, okay? So I'm just lowering lead arm. Now within this, higher ROR, rate of rotation in the club face, meaning the face will do this through the strike, will typically come from a handle that stays underneath the center of mass of the club for longer. So see how the handle's down here, the club head is up. I've got all the force going down in the handle. That means that I've got to rise and get out of there to accommodate this downward force in the handle. And because of that, it stalls out rotation. And so now through the hit, we see that type of a release pattern where there's a heavy external rotation and supination act in this lead arm. There's the release. Compared to Hovland, if we're going to turn this, I've got to shallow that, the club head. I'm not saying shallow the handle. I'm saying that the club head needs to fall back behind me. Okay, so the club's going over here. Look at where the handle is in space. Kind of stays up in general. I'm not actively lowering it here. I'm actively moving the club behind me as I drop and turn. So see where the handle is now. Club's still back behind me. So if I keep turning, this is super cool. If I keep turning, the handle now will start to move left. See this? It's out here, kind of its furthest away point. And now from here, as I keep turning, because I'm turning, it curves left. But I still have this loaded. The club head's loaded. So as the handle curves left, look at where the club head gets to unload. Hello, block draw, but stable block draw. So block draws don't have to come from lowering, extending, throwing. That would be a block draw. They can also come from the club head being deep enough, and as I turn, I get to unload the club in here, and the face can move right as the handle's moving left through the hit. Freaking super cool. Okay. That's a big one. Hands are big.
Yeah. So overall, you can pretty much say that it's not necessarily just driver.
Yeah, because I just did that with 7-iron. With driver, we'd see the exact same pattern. Now, you do extend earlier with driver because all this tissue has more energy in it, so it does pull on the pelvis, so we do tend to unload and extend the right hip earlier in that pattern. And so, yeah, does the handle arc as severely there as it would with a wedge? No, probably not, unless you're hitting some kind of like real chip flighted cut with driver, which is cool, like you're lowering the energy a ton. But you could also hit like a heavier arc chip draw with driver. It's just that the club head needs to be far enough behind you, so its path comes from inside, right? It's coming from in here If I want to hit a flighted draw, see where the club head is, my hands are out here. So as I'm turning, there goes the handle left, but look at where the golf club's going to unload. So it's still in here. Now a driver, again, like if I'm in here nice and I'm looking to like hit a bomb, I'm going upper spiral is rotating me through, and there goes the unload. So this does climb, but it's still curving left through there. Okay, so it's still the same map, same concept, whether it's driver or wedge or anything in between. It's the energy levels that change slightly and your posture that changes slightly just to accommodate for different length shafts. But it's the same general idea and map as far as what the hands are doing from 4 to 8.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, awesome.
This is a good one.
Okay.
All right, this is coming from Anders.
Nice. What's up, Anders?
Got this going like a little story time.
Woo!
You are on the range hitting it good. Suddenly, something creeps into your swing that causes catastrophic misses one after the other. Then you get a mental thing where you start to fear the misses, which of course just makes it worse. How could you deal with something like this on the range? Asking for a friend.
You liar, Anders. You lie. You lie dog. Okay, so this, but by the way, Anders, this is like, the truth of the matter is this. Every single player on earth deals with what you just asked, like that question or the story that you just gave about your buddy. Wink, wink. Tiger deals with it. Jack Nicklaus dealt with it. Jackson deals with it. I deal with it. Beginners deal with it. Like yeah, it can be crazy frustrating if you don't know how to counter it or have like a perspective of how to train and how to practice and how to work on your game. So I'll say this. Let's liken this to our junior academy in any state, okay? So if it's in Arizona, we do the same thing down there, same thing in Colorado. This is how we train juniors from the time that they're friggin' 6 years old all the way until they graduate and they go play college golf. When they first come in, it's all skill building. Now, if you're just starting the game, yeah, do you want to hit a good shot every once in a while? If I had it my way, all we would do is just train skills. Hey, the lead arm does this at some point during the swing. You get to turn here, your booty drops, blah, blah, freaking blah, right? So we're just skill build, skill build, skill build. Who gives a crud about the golf ball? I don't care if you whiff it. I don't care if you pure it. It's all objective. There's no emotional response to either one of those shots because we need to skill build. So for example, Anders, you're more accomplished by a long shot than a beginner, and you've earned that, right? Now, at the same time, though, you can't take that for granted. And this is the danger that like lives for players that like no coaching, like everybody has this. So like you need to learn how to work through this because what you're gonna do is you'll just nerd out and then try things on for size, and all of a sudden, like you got a prom dress on with frickin' gym shorts on underneath them, and like it's like, dude, your outfits don't match. Okay, so the matchup is the important thing, and as you progress through your swing, you'll identify things that are really important for you to hit great shots. Every practice session should start with that, and we call this triad building for every single one of our kids that we train. And some of you that have come out to see me and work with me that are kind of in the system, I train every single player that's ready for this through this whole perspective. So triad training, we got building over here. Okay, so we're build for every single rep. Once you've built your system, now you challenge yourself, meaning we're playing with it. Through this system, can I take 15 yards off of a stock shot? Can I do it with driver? Can I do it with sandwich? Can I do it with 7-iron, 5-wood, different energies, choke down on it? For those of you that understand how to flight the golf ball, can I go in here and maintain this angle? Whereas if I wanted to hit one higher, I could unload this as I'm turning through it. I can pressure the golf ball right or left to go ahead and control the ball. You are testing yourself through the system. So the reason I'm bringing this up is this happens almost every single range session where you're like, man, I'm kind of hitting it good, and then you like quote unquote lose it. All right, so what you've done is you've built the system, which is really nice. So let's say that I need pelvic drop for me personally as an athlete in transition. So I'm just gonna hit a shot here where I don't care about anything other than dropping the pelvis. Did I do that or not? And again, I don't care where the ball went, doesn't matter at all. The question is, in this transitionary phase, did I drop in here? Okay, once you have an awareness of that, awesome. Maybe you build on top of it. Along with the drop, what if I'm an athlete that needs to move the golf club over here? So I drop and move the club in this space. That's pretty easy to do. Easy task to just move it over here and drop here if the ball doesn't matter at all. Like, I don't care if it's a cotton ball, I don't care if it's a practice swing, if I'm set up to a soccer ball, a golf ball, it doesn't matter. I'm just, can I do this? Like, guys, is this a hard move? No. You can't do this. You can't drop your booty. Like, the skill on its own is freaking easy. The thing that is difficult is when you are expecting to hit a great shot while moving the club over here, your mind has massive conflict because it equates this to something foreign, danger, don't do that. It's going to disrupt your ability to hit a good shot. That's why people don't get better, because they're immediately like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I should hit a good shot right off the bat. No. Build the skill first. Can you move the frickin' thing over here while dropping your booty? Yeah, that's not hard to do. It's just not, flat out. Those skills are not hard. Okay, and once you're in there, like you have an awareness of that, maybe now you just go, well, I can just take my chest once I've dropped and moved the club in here, and I'm going to take my chest and turn. And so once you go through these items, these skills, you build out the skills. When those skills show up at the right time, so the sequencing of your swing, and you perform the skill, and you do it within the confines of good rhythm, bro, you're in system. And by law, this is just physics, it ain't my rule, it's physics rule, so thank Newton. The ball strike will show up. So we let the strike of the ball seek out the player because of great mapping and great matchups. Now you're in system. So you build. Ooh, at the top here of the triangle or of triad, the strike seeks you out. Meaning you'll hit 2 or 3 good ones in a row and you're like, that felt nice. I'm in it. Okay, now the worst thing that you could do is just keep trying to build. It's like, another analogy is always food.
Always food.
That's why I'm fat. That's why I'm fat. If I throw a steak on the grill, I'm gonna like, probably number one, have the grill on as high as it can go so I can sear it. Ooh. Gets up, maybe it's on one side for 2 minutes, flip it over, on for 2 minutes, let me put a temperature gauge in there. I like cooking my steak to 135. So once it gets to like 132, whew, off the grill, frickin' boom, and it'll keep cooking for a little bit. It's perfect. That's building. What if I flipped it again, in there, ooh, 135, it's perfect, and I just keep cooking. 165, 200, now I got a rock. Thing doesn't taste good anymore, because you freaking overcooked your steak. You overbuilt your system. You need these concepts to work for you. Once you're in system, you get out of there, and through the system, you test. Let me grab driver, same map. Let me grab 7-iron, same map. Let me grab 7-iron, 15 yards off, same map. And you just test. Can I hit shots and perform? Inevitably, what happens? Oh, I lose it a little bit. Okay? If you lose it a little bit, no problem. Guess what you get to do? You ride the bottom portion of the triangle and you go back of this triad and you go back to building. Better you get at it, you'll know through awareness where you're screwing it up. Frickin' pelvis is in here. I need to drop a little bit more. So couldn't you just go right back to like, all right, I'll just go in here. Can I drop? Okay, I just did it. And you just do it until you have general awareness. Might take 2 reps, might take 7, might take 15, might take 3, who cares? Until you're like, I got it again. Where's the club? How do I turn? Ooh, back up, build, test. So you're always playing around with this triad. And depending on your level, you might stay over here on building for 95% of the time, 5%'s over here. The better you get at building, the quicker you can get into system, and now you just test. And you might be 90% over here. Depends on the player, and it depends on how skilled you are, period. The nice thing is when you leave from a training session or you go out to the course, you will always feel empowered. Because if you miss it over here, you get to go back over and build. If you've built over here, go over and test. You're always in control of the mental space of your training and how to train yourself to play better golf, period. Okay, before we go to the next question, here's what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna upset most of you except for you X Factor members. I'm gonna continue to do these weekly, but I'm gonna turn this off on social media platforms at the 15-minute mark. And I'm gonna keep it going for subscribers of X Factor. So if you wanna watch me and have questions back and forth and banter, get the X Factor membership. Period. Number 2, after throwing that bomb, we have an exciting announcement to make because we have finally figured out how to provide feedback for every single X Factor member. One of the limitations that we have had, myself and our team, is we've got this wonderful community where you can post your golf swing and you get feedback directly from me on your swing. What's been happening is I'm only really allowed, the system only allows for me to write back to you. Now we found a way to go ahead and I can film myself and provide a swing analysis for you, and you have the opportunity to have unlimited swing analysis directly from me on that platform. So not only do you have 400 plus videos in there really organizing and understanding the golf swing, and we're going to continue to build those out so they're better and better for you to better understand, implement these concepts into your swing, number 1. But number 2, you're going to have an hour of me, Q&A, that I get to answer these questions directly with you every single week on Thursdays at 10:30 Mountain Time, which is what we're doing for an hour. But also unlimited frickin' swing analysis from me where I get to take a look at your swing. I will record myself and explain concepts on things that I want you to do better in your swing and submit it right back to you. So it becomes this really freaking cool, totally personalized experience for you for frickin' 20 bones a month. So if you're wanting that, really wanting to make the gains that you seek in your game, that is why, folks, we built X Factor in the first place, so that we can do this at minimum cost, but really affect your game and affect your swing, give you better insight, and all the things that you're looking to do in your golf swing to elevate your golf game. Not only your golf swing, but your entire game. So with that being said, social media folks, we'll be seeing you later. If you have any questions on this, please submit them in. I'll get to them as best I possibly can, and let's continue to go ahead and rock with X Factor. Adios.
Adios, socials.
All right, Jay, and let me know when we're kind of yay for X Factor here. Hit a couple nugs in the meantime.
Just got to toggle them off, right?
Just toggle them.